A data template is something that contains default values for groups of customers, vendors, and items. So if you open the Migrate Business Data wizard from the assisted setup, and you continue, for example, via the import from Excel functionality, you might remember that we downloaded the template file to import data. Now we can also go to settings, and for this template we can, for example, apply a default customer template, vendor template, and an item template. This gives me, for example, the possibility to migrate my customers. I can, for example, here have a look at one of the existing customer templates, or I can also create a new template. And by creating a new customer template, my US customers, for example, is the name of my template, I can include some default values. So if I will be importing customers from a certain Excel sheet, I can group them together, for example, by region, by customer group. I create this template, and what I will do, for example, is I will assign a certain country here in this template. So for example, I will say that these are US customers. So if I will import these customers, the country region code will be defaulted to US. As you notice, we have the possibility to assign number series, a document sending profile, some other address information, invoicing information like a business posting group. For example, I could select domestic as the default business posting group for this batch of customers. There are also some other fields available, and if I go and have a look here under payments, I can also determine a payment terms code that needs to be applied. When I create this customer template, I can of course then also select it during my data import in the settings of the wizard, which allows me to do data migration. And then in the next part, I have the possibility to upload an Excel file. Here I have my Excel file, which I downloaded earlier. It contains different tabs for GEL accounts, customers, vendors, and items. And in the customer tab, I created 3 new customers, Platan, Contoso, and AdventureWorks, for which I'm only filling in the name field and leaving blank all of the other fields, as you can see here. I will now save my file, and then I will import it here using the import from Excel option. So I will select the file which I recently saved. I will do this in the data import wizard, which allows me to import data from Excel. The file is being analyzed, and it noticed that it found 3 customers here in that Excel file. That looks fine, and I would like to migrate these customers, so I will select the migrate button, which will then import the data. And of course, it will also apply the template that I used. So if I now go and have a look at the customers that were created, I should see these customers in here, Platan, Contoso, and AdventureWorks. As you notice, a number has been assigned automatically. And if I open these customers, the template was also applied, because I can see the country region code has been set to US. And if I open, for example, the invoicing tab, I can see that the general business posting group has also been set to domestic. So by applying the template in the data migration wizard, I was able to default a number of fields when I was migrating my customer data. And as you notice, I have done that by selecting the settings option in the data migration wizard and then selecting a customer template. If I reopen the template, for example, let me go back to the list of this template and make some changes. You notice that there are lots of fields that I can default. And we even have the possibility to also set some default dimensions which need to be applied when I'm importing, for example, these customers. Which dimension, of course, depends on the dimension setup I might have performed in my company. You notice that I can apply these templates for customers, but also for vendors and items, which will make the importing of data a lot easier within Business Central.